There's no exact release date just yet, but Fallout Season 2 began shooting in November 2024. With the second season on the way, welcome to ScreenRant's big plot theory video for Fallout Season 2. Warning, everything you're about to see and hear from this point on is pure speculation.
Okie dokie.
The CEO of Robco Industries, Robert Edwin House, was among those who bankrolled the end of the world. And as confirmed by one of the showrunners of Prime Video's Fallout, Graham Wagner, Las Vegas in the world of Fallout is Robert House's town. Robert House will be involved in Season 2. Moreover, this was already heavily teased in the Season 1 finale. When we last saw Lucy, Dogmeat, and the Ghoul aka Cooper, they were going after Lucy's dad Hank, who just arrived outside New Vegas. So the first episode of Fallout Season 2 will pick up after these events. As the power armor-clad Hank lands in the Mojave Wasteland, he surveys the landscape for signs of danger. For now, all is quiet in the desert, which is a good thing. Hank used up a lot of power after using his armor's jets to get here quicker, so Hank moves cautiously towards New Vegas, now a dilapidated shadow of what used to be the bustling, neon-lit gambling mecca of the Mojave. As he steps through the ruined concrete barriers, Hank gets the eerie feeling he's being watched, and when he checks his armor's sensors, he confirms several possible hostiles hiding nearby, before the screen flickers out from low power. Instinctively, Hank looks behind him, just quick enough to see a Deathclaw lunging towards his head. The Deathclaw tries to bite Hank's face, but he reacts fast enough to block the attack with his hand. Hank then uses his other hand to strike the Deathclaw, who swipes at Hank's face in retaliation. He barely gets out of the way, and the claw mostly strikes the armor, but Hank is bleeding and starting to panic. The armor has limited juice, Hank thinks to himself, so this has to end quickly. After circling Hank, the Deathclaw lunges for another attack, so Hank ducks out of the way, raises his hand, and unsheathes the electric saw tucked in the armor's forearm. This disembowels the Deathclaw and covers Hank in gore. After wrestling the heavy lizard carcass off his body, Hank injects his neck with a stim pack before walking off to his destination, the Lucky 38 casino on the Strip. Typically heavily guarded, the entrance to the Lucky 38 is littered with Securitron parts, bullet casings, and other junk, evidence of a violent skirmish in the distant past. As Hank makes his way in, he finds similar signs across the casino floor. However, the elevator is still functioning. Hank enters the elevator and takes out a Vault-Tec ID card, waving it towards the sensor. The elevator door then closes as a wall panel recedes to reveal a retina scanner, and Hank obliges. Hank then feels the elevator moving, and when the door opens, Hank walks into what appears to be the control room for the entire casino. Inside this room, Hank finally comes upon the first big reveal of Season 2, Mr. House from Fallout New Vegas. However, all that's left for Hank to find is a dead husk connected to the similarly lifeless computers inside the control room. Hank searches the room for clues until he's spooked by a voice coming from one of the speakers. Hank McClane? Hank looks around but finds no one there, unsure if he's hearing voices in his head. "I can assure you, Mr. McClane," the voice insists, "you're not just hearing things." Suddenly, one of the monitors flickers awake to reveal the digital face of Mr. House, who says, "Welcome to the Lucky 38, or at least what's left of it." Hank replies, "You are the Robco CEO. I work for Vault-Tec. I'm supposed to..." Mr. House cuts Hank mid-sentence. "Yes, I know you, Mr. McClane, and might I say, you made short work of the welcoming committee." Another screen flickers open to show surveillance footage of Hank killing the Deathclaw. "We have a lot of work to do, but first proceed to the presidential suite. You can freshen up there." Still watching the surveillance footage, a confused Hank asks House, "Who are you?"
I think I know who you are.
A shining example of human hubris in the technological singularity, House will eventually explain to Hank how his mind was transferred to a hard drive. Fallout Season 2 will treat the pro-House New Vegas ending as canon, but will follow House's regime with a revolution, united by House turning the Mojave into a cold, orderly dictatorship. Remnants of Caesar's Legion killed Mr. House and sacked the city in the fall of New Vegas in 2286, 5 years after the events of the video game. However, before the Legion killed House's real body, he had already engaged the full transfer of his consciousness into the supercomputer. Since then, the NCR, Raiders, and everyone else has stripped New Vegas of anything useful, but they never found the hard drive housing Mr. House, who kept himself hidden and used booby traps to keep away intruders. As the strip was salvaged for everything that could be sold, House watched from what few cameras were left, biding his time until his next security protocol kicks in. Eventually, the ghost town became a breeding ground for the local Deathclaw Deathclaw population, another barrier between House and the outside world. But wait, what about Lucy, Cooper, and Dogmeat? Easily the most important character from any Fallout New Vegas DLC. Joshua Graham is Caesar's former first legate, the one with whom Caesar conquered the Wasteland. He was burned and left for dead by Caesar and his men, but Joshua survived and turned into a ghost avenger, hated and feared by the scattered remnants of Caesar's legion. While the courier killed Caesar in 2281, the effects of his brutal rule culminated in the fall of New Vegas in 2286, and the prevalence of warring raider tribes across the Mojave in 2296. So Joshua's work persists, bringing down the wrath of God on those who commit atrocities, and patrolling the wasteland himself on occasion. On their way to New Vegas, Lucy, Cooper, and Dogmeat meet Joshua on one of these patrols. Amid the ruins of a Mojave town, Lucy rummages for supplies inside a grocery store. Off the corner of her eye, Lucy spots a man emerging from the shadows. Wait, we're not... But before Lucy can finish, the man shushes her. From behind his bandaged face, Joshua tells Lucy, "Don't move." And in a flash, Joshua draws his pistol to shoot a raider hiding in the shadows just behind her. Suddenly, another raider jumps over the grocery shelf while throwing a spear at Joshua. He narrowly dodges the spear and makes quick work of the raider. "My name is Joshua Graham," says Joshua to Lucy. "Where are your friends?" Cooper chimes in, "Right here, Chief. Didn't look like you needed help." And Dogmeat barks in agreement. Eventually, Joshua explains that he's on a mission to avenge the world, aiming to rid it of those responsible for the apocalypse. And this brings us to the last big reveal in Fallout Season 2. Season 2 will finally provide the real answer to why Mr. House filled Vault 21 with cement. In the end, it will be revealed that the elite among Vault-Tec's executives are sleeping in stasis under Vault 21, also known as the Gambler's Vault. To ensure that he'll remain unopposed, House sealed these execs under the vault. This includes Cooper's wife Barb, alongside their daughter. It will also be revealed that these same execs are the ones that Joshua Graham had been hunting down, and he finally finds them through Lucy and Cooper's aid. Meanwhile, life goes on back in California. The new Knight Maximus, alongside his scribe and best friend Dane, are hailed as heroes. Yet while Max and Dane do their best to honor the Brotherhood's code, the Elder Cleric Quintus secretly meets with the Enclave to sell the secret to Cold Fusion. As for Norm McLean, who was trapped in Vault 31 by the Bud droid, he'll regain consciousness in Season 2. While Bud struggles to put Norm inside one of the sleeping chambers, Norm wakes up and simply shuts down the droid. And after Norm investigates Vault 31, he soon comes upon a map of the location of every vault housing Vault-Tec executives around the country. As Norm surveys the map on a widescreen, he is startled by a phone that rings nearby, and when Norm picks up the phone, the on-screen map is replaced by Mr. House's digital avatar. "Mr. McLean," House says over the phone, "I need your help." So what do you think of ScreenRant's big plot theory for Fallout Season 2? Tell us in the comments and keep watching ScreenRant.